All right. So we'll just start. If anybody does hop onto the Zoom, that's great. That's fine. Otherwise, I find that not too many come on to the actual Zoom call. They mostly do live. But after yesterday's Facebook outage, then I was like, oh, maybe we'll have more on Zoom tomorrow. So most of you know me. My name is, my name is Shalina. My name is Leah. And Shalina is with me. So if you haven't met Shalina, she's been here with us for a long time. And but we haven't had you on like one of these calls for a while. So I'm excited that you are joining me. Shalina has lots of knowledge. She actually knows much more than she gives herself credit for, I think. And she actually has a ton to share, and she's beautiful at sharing on like her stories and stuff. So you can find her over on Instagram because I love watching how you share. And it's just so natural, and how you use your Young Living stuff in your house. So today we are here to talk about supplements. And I always feel like, how do I condense what I want to say about Young Living products in like 20 minutes? So that's always the challenge. It's never about having enough to say, it's about having too much to say. So I am first going to talk a little bit about the supplement industry and why we care about supplements. And then Shalina is going to take over for a couple minutes and tell us about a few of the supplements, and then I'll finish up. So that's kind of how we'll break this down. But the supplement industry itself is actually, like, for starters, I'll say, I used to think like supplements were like kind of useless. Like, why do people take those? Unless all of a sudden, somebody's like, oh, do you have any glucosamine for my sore knee? Or like, I remember my mom saying that when I was a kid and stuff. And all of a sudden my dad would be taking something. But I was like, why do we need this? We did have Flintstone vitamins at our house growing up. So I might be dating myself a little, but the good old Flintstone vitamins. But other than that, we just didn't really take anything. And I just thought, well, like, why isn't that a waste of money? So it turns out that the supplement industry is actually a $1.3 billion industry in Canada. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it's so high. And I do think as we trend towards people care more, I think, now about their health than they certainly did in the 80s. When I grew up, like, I don't even remember drinking water. I just remember drinking Kool-Aid. Like, did you drink Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Mom would buy like the 10 packs of Kool-Aid. Like, you could buy 10 flavors, and we had like a container that they all fit in, and you could pick your flavor and put, like, I don't know if it was 1 cup or 2 cups of sugar into the water, and then you just stirred that sucker up. Like, we lived off of Kool-Aid. So if you're here, I want to know what your favorite Kool-Aid flavor was. I think mine was actually lime, but anyway, I digress. I think, thankfully, our trend more towards a general awareness more of health. And so you can't out supplement a bad diet. You do need to try your hardest to implement a good diet, good vegetables, whole foods, that kind of stuff. But our food and stuff in North America has been, I think, just with the pesticides and the things that they spray the fields with, and just the way our farming practices are, we tend to end up, I think, stripping our vegetables and fruits and grains and all of that stuff of their nutrients. And so it is super important. And there's lots of things that we just don't get enough of in our general day-to-day diet. So that's where supplements come into play. So you can't out supplement a bad diet, but obviously people are taking supplements, but because it is a $1.4 billion industry here in Canada. And 3/4 of Canadians report that they take vitamins, minerals, fish oil, and other health products. That's a lot, actually. And I feel like the more I do like Young Living and stuff, the more I realize that like we would fall into that category with our like natural lifestyle. But anyway, because it's such a big moneymaker, Health Canada, there were some studies that showed like they just started like approving everything in like 10 days. There were so many approvals. I don't know if they've tightened this up a bit, because I know getting Health Canada approval for Young Living products has not been as easy as that. But in the past, like 2014, they were just like whipping off the like supplements like crazy. But there was a study in New Zealand in 2019 that talked about how they did 83% of the fish oil supplements actually exceeded the limit for rancidity. So they were rancid. So 83%, that's so much. And then a study out of Guelph University, they did DNA testing on 44 herbal supplements in Canada and the US in 2013. And this was published in a journal of BMC Medicine, that said 60% of supplements were found to not have were found to have ingredients not listed on the label. 32% were outright frauds. 30 of 44 products had substitutions in them that were tested, and only 2 out of 12 companies had products with no substitutions, contamination, or fillers. So this is why we feel like we need to know our source. So that's what we love about Young Living. 90% of supplements on the market are synthetic. And so our bodies actually don't even really know what to do with that. Our bodies aren't designed to take on synthetics and metabolize those the way you would metabolize something like a whole food. So that's really important to know, because if you're just taking a supplement that is completely synthetic, you're probably just excreting it right out the other end, and you're just peeing your money down the toilet, essentially. So anyway, Young Living supplements all come from whole food products. They meet the same seed to seal standards as our oils do. So they end up that they are tested, they are third-party tested. If they are infused with essential oils, it's their own oils that have all been tested and are completely pure. And so the seed to seal standard that we know and love extends to all products. And so you're not getting fillers. We know they're whole foods. We know that our body will actually be able to process them. We know that they're going to do their best for us. And the coolest thing is that most supplements are actually infused with essential oils. So essential oils get into our cells so well and so quickly that they make a massive difference in pulling all of the good stuff into our cells and making it more available to our bodies. And they did a study on our multigreens, and it showed that in 24 hours prior to infusing essential oils, it was the uptake, the blood availability was 42%. And after they infused it with essential oils, the blood availability increased to 86% in 1 hour. 1 hour. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So like, I know for me, when I go to the health food store, I don't know about you, because we can't get everything we necessarily need and want through Young Living. So sometimes I'm at the health food store getting stuff, and it's not cheap. I don't know how you feel, but I'm always trying to like weigh out like what I know that I've just told you versus like the cost effective, right? But Young Living, for the if I'm just peeing the other stuff out, like I would say that Young Living isn't the most expensive supplements that I've seen, but they're also not the least expensive either. I would say they're somewhere in the middle. And I love that I'm getting the very most out of what I'm ordering. So those are some fun facts about why we love the supplements. And now we're just going to tell you about some of them. There's so many. So if there's something we don't touch on here and you're like, I want to know more about supplements specifically for joint health, gut health, whatever, just touch base with us because we love to share and we can help you meet your needs. So Shalina, if you want to share what you do and what you use, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah. It is hard to, I've got some staples, but I also have some that I'll like dive into if I feel like I'm needing some more of something. But some of the staples that I have or that I use are Master Formula, which it's these four little pills in this handy dandy little travel pack. And the liquid one has vitamin A, D3, E, vitamin K, and then turmeric. We all know that how so important turmeric has been in just our overall health and supporting. It's become one that's like super widely popular lately. Everybody's talking about turmeric nowadays.
Yeah.
The cardamom, clove, fennel, and ginger. That's the liquid capsule. And then there's there's 2 capsules, and that one again has more vitamin A. It's got all of your vitamin B's in it. And then the harder tablet or caplet has like calcium and potassium, trace minerals. So really it's like an overall, it's almost like a multivitamin. It offers support for like your whole body, and it helps neutralize the free radicals and supports your gut flora, which we all know is basically like the brain of everything. So if you have a healthy gut, you have a healthy system. If your gut is suffering, then usually your systems are all suffering as well. So Super B is another one. I was for a while very diligent at taking my Super B, and I changed my morning routine, so I've been forgetting. And today I took a couple instead of, usually I just take one, but I took a couple this time, and I tell you, my energy level was totally different, like significant difference. And I used to take, when I was like years ago, I used to take a different brand of vitamin B, and because it was recommended for stress and managing that when I was in university. And I think it helped some. I was thinking back on it today, and I did feel a bit of a difference, but comparable to the vitamin B, like the Super B of Young Living, it's night and day. Like I've never felt such a drastic change of like using these ones like I did today versus the ones I used years ago. Like it was such a drastic change. Like I noticed it huge. So I also knew that I obviously needed it. So that one I've got back on my shelf and getting back into the routine of not forgetting them in the morning.
I think that's such a good tip too, is that like our routine really matters to doing the same things. And if you change your routine, make sure you're building that in, because you just forget, right? It's just
Totally.
like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, that feels so good. Like I feel so much better. And you're like, oh geez, I've suffered for like now when I could have felt better.
Yeah.
So build good habits for taking our supplements.
Yeah, totally. So again, it's just balanced overall internally. Like I said, it helps with protecting against oxidative stress caused by free radicals and maintaining your energy levels, supporting your normal immune function. The Sulfurzyme is another one. I have never forgotten to take my Sulfurzyme. That's been huge as well for me, because having kids, my ribs have go out quite often now.
Right.
And I've noticed since taking the Sulfurzyme, I can still have my ribs go out, but I'm not in quite as much pain as normal. Okay. And my chiropractor has basically said every time that I go and see him which to that length of time is extended. But when I do go and see them, I adjust much easier. So it's so powerful, the sulfurzyme as well, with the MSM,
Mhm.
which is a protein building compound, and it helps to actually equalize the water pressure inside the
Oh,
cell.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's beneficial for those with like arthritis and bursitis and tendonitis
Right.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it has the wolfberry powder in it as well,
Right.
which we all love the wolfberry.
Yes, we love the wolfberry for sure.
So those are the main
Video.
ones. Sorry,
Sorry,
go
I
ahead.
have a really cool video that talks about some of the other things that sulfurzyme is really good for, but we don't want to like get too carried away with it for compliance and all of that stuff. So if you ever feel like you want to watch, like if anyone wants to know more about what sulfurzyme can really do, then just ask me and I can send you the link.
And the last one really that I've gotten back into the routine of taking is Life 9. And
Oh, yes.
just, yeah, so for like improved digestion, again, it's just all that gut health, right? Gut health is the key for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Okay. Good night, buddy. So yeah, those are the main ones.
Yes.
And then there's obviously a ton others.
Yeah. I know you said you sometimes take alkaline. Do you have like specific reasons you take it for, or do you just sort of take it once in a while?
I usually only take it when I have to. I
Yeah.
haven't like built it just in as
Right.
my regular routine, but I found, because like we all know and love DiGize to a
Yes.
degree. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yes.
So for me, I don't tend to lean towards the DiGize like my husband does. And so I will lean towards the alkaline.
Okay,
I can
sort of
totally,
just for digestive issues. You probably need
Yeah.
less when you're taking your Life 9 regularly too.
Yes.
Better when I'm taking Life 9. Life 9 is, yeah, also for me, been really, really great to just keep everything regular, and then also like that immune boosting too. So yeah, there's so much. I just think I underestimated the power of a solid probiotic until I started taking Life 9, and what that does like for your emotional state and everything is super important. Yeah, and then alkaline. I've actually started trying to take alkaline once a day. I just put it out on the counter if I think of it. It tastes, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like a powder and it looks almost like Alka-Seltzer. And it's supposed to be kind of lemony, but it does taste kind of gross. But
no, I like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't really like it. So there you go. For anyone trying it, the jury is out. You guys all get alkaline, and I want you to tell Shalina and I, like who wore it better, like who likes the taste better. Anyway, but basically the more acidic your body can be, the more available you are to invite in illness, basically. So alkaline brings the pH of your body down, and alkaline, so it goes up. But anyway, I digress. I'm a nurse and I get too technical on that stuff. Nobody cares. It makes your body less susceptible to being unwell. And I do know a girl that basically had chronic yeast infections, and she started taking alkaline regularly, and doesn't have that issue anymore. So awesome. Thank you. I love sort of hearing which ones, because there's so many supplements that I find, like I have lots in the cupboard, but you have your go-tos, right? Like everybody sort of has their own go-tos for their own reasons. And then we slowly kind of build things in. So here we take Omega Gize as well, which is omegas. So if you've ever been pregnant and you had instant like baby brain and it never went away, that's how I feel. But is so bad when you're pregnant, right? Like if you've been there, if you know kind of thing of what baby brain is. So a huge part of that is that you're actually not getting enough omegas, and omegas are super important for our brain function and our heart function. And so it's really important also for baby's development. And so the baby leaches all of your omegas for their own brain development while you're growing a human. And then it gives you baby brain because you don't have enough. So it's actually a real legit thing. So if you're not taking an omega and you're planning to have babies, or you're pregnant, or you've had babies, get your omegas in. But it's really important for making the cell walls receive the messages from all the hormones, which is basically like the motherboard of your body. Like the hormone system, your endocrine system tells your body what to do all the time, for stress, for sleep, for emotions, for sexual reproduction, like all the things. It's your endocrine system. So if your cells receive those messages the best, then you're at a more optimum health level. And so omegas are really, really important for that. My notes are all over the place here, so that's helpful. There is actually no fishy taste with them. That's what people complain about. I don't ever get fish burps or fishy taste or anything like that. And so it's just overall good for your health. And there's also some vitamin D in there as well. You probably want to, in the winter months, supplement another vitamin D. Young Living actually you can now order it on the US market, brought vitamin D to us. If you're in Canada, you have to order it on the US side, and they're chewable and they taste delicious. So if you want to give that a try. And then I will talk about Ningxia Red a little bit. It is on sale until the end of today. So if you have not tried Ningxia Red, I want you to get off of this call and I want you to go immediately to your virtual office. And if you do not have a virtual office yet, you need to get one. And I want you to order your Ningxia Red on sale right now, and you can thank us later. So it makes up almost, I think, 40% of Young Living's total sales volume, because it's that good. It's grown, the wolfberry, Shalina already talked about it. It's grown in China, up in the Himalayas. So it's huge for neutralizing free radicals, which cause your body, like, it's just a natural occurring thing in your system. Like, we're always exposed to things in the environment, toxins in the environment. Some people smoke. We all lived in like a giant ashtray here in DC for all summer. Like, all of that puts this, it's called oxidative stress on our bodies. And we need to do something about that. It makes our cells unstable, and it can predispose us to cancers, to like rapid aging, to all kinds of things that we don't want for general illness. So what it does is the antioxidants bind with the cells and stabilize them. And so it's good for all your systems. It makes you, it's good for like anxiousness, for your mental health. It's good for your immune system. Soon as somebody gets, well, we take it every day, but if someone gets a sniffle around here, it's like Ningxia, Ningxia. I know you guys love your Ningxia at your house too, right, Shalina?
Totally. I just got my order, just showed up. I cashed in some points for,
oh, nice.
Like what did I get? Like 3 boxes of the packets.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I love the packets because they're just so easy. So Shalina's talking about points. So when you start adding in your supplements to your routine, what you want to do is order them on Essential Rewards. It's like literally the best wellness box ever. And you get it every month and you customize what you need. So you're getting your supplements, you're getting points, you're getting free products and oils, and then you get to exchange your points for free Ningxia. Like, it literally doesn't get any better than that. So anyway, we could have an entire class on Ningxia Red, but if you're not taking it, you want to be. It's good for just generally supporting blood sugars. It has a very low glycemic index, so it's not going to cause like spikes like a regular juice. And it just supports all of your systems, and who doesn't need that these days? I also take Super C, and I love Super C. Apparently, it is the fourth highest deficiency in our bodies in the US stats, but because we don't actually store it in our bodies, so unless you're taking it in your diet every single day, you're not getting enough. So what we do, vitamin C, I'm sure you've heard that as soon as you get a cold, you take vitamin C, right? That's pretty common, like,
Yeah.
oh goodness, are you taking your vitamin C? But vitamin C is important for your immune system, for your heart health, for your eye health, for your healthy circulation, also that free radical stuff I just talked about, and other inflammatory stuff in your body. And it's also really important for like the uptake of other nutrients and minerals in your body. So it works very well, but if we're not replacing it on a regular basis, your body isn't storing it. So you want to be taking that. And I definitely think right now, where we all have a very heightened awareness of illness, we want to be supporting our bodies as much as possible. Another one we take is essential zymes. So essential zymes is super important. You are born with a certain number of enzymes in your body, which break down your food and give you basically the most bang for your buck as far as getting the nutrients out of your meals. But we only have so many, and you're born with them, and then they slowly deteriorate with age. So this is why when your 90-year-old grandma eats like this much dinner and she's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm too full. You're like, are you kidding me? Like, you haven't even eaten. It's because she has no enzymes left that are actually breaking down her food and doing their job. And so she's full really, really fast. So we want to be taking these essential zymes. And so there's essential zymes 4, they're called, and they're capsules. You take 2. It's like a dual thing, and they help. It has to do with where it breaks things down in your body. One is in part of your stomach and one is further down in your colon. And I actually have no idea which part does what. Doesn't really matter. It just does really good things for your body. And so basically it helps with bloating. You should be taking them all the time, but especially like if you're taking them like with your biggest meal of the day. So, and if you want to really test this out, then go after turkey dinner this coming weekend, where you're so full, you don't want to move, then take your essential zymes and see what happens. It's actually pretty crazy how much better you feel faster than you normally would. So you're welcome for that quick tip with Leah right before, right before Thanksgiving dinner. And what else do I take? I'm just trying to think what I have on the counter there. I take Super C, Omega. I also take Sulfurzyme. I take vitamin D, vitamin B. Yeah, I think that there's so many good ones I want to talk about. But there's also some for like keeping things regular in there. Comfort Cleanse, I think it's called, is a capsule, so they don't taste disgusting. That's a really good one if you just struggle with sort of regularities. And you can sort of take 1 or 2, or you can kind of up it a little bit depending on what your needs are. So they do have something for that. Like I said, I've been taking Alkaline during the day, or like I'm trying to take it once a day. But anyway, like I said, we have so many that I feel like I'm missing like one that I take all the time, but it's not coming to me right now. So, and we are also at half an hour, and I didn't want to go over like 25 minutes. So I would love if you are here and you have your own amazing testimonies with these supplements already, share them, because the more we share with each other, the more we really just learn and are like, whoa, I didn't know. Like maybe you take something and you're like, I had no idea it could do that. Like Sulfurzyme, for example, I take it all the time for joint health, but I swear, and this is completely anecdotal, so don't say that I promised you this, but I swear my hair comes in gray slower when I take sulfurzyme. And if I forget for a while, I'm like, oh boy. And then if I start taking it again, it slows right down. And I actually was saying this to, no, I never said it to anybody because I was like, am I crazy? I was like, maybe I'm crazy. And then I was chatting with a cross-line friend of mine, and she was like, I was going like, she was like letting all the grays come in with COVID and all of that stuff, you know, at the beginning where everybody finally embraced the gray because nobody could go to the salon. And she's like, I let it happen. She's like, but I was taking sulfurzyme and then it started to actually grow back in darker again. And I was like, oh, that's what I think. So anyway, so just share your stories, share your anecdotal things, because the more we know, the more we can learn from each other. And it might be like a game changer for someone. We also have a few really, really great ones with like collagen and stuff in them for joint health. So if you're struggling with that, we might be able to have some more tips for you. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else, Shalina, that you just like popped into your head that you're just like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I use, like I say, I throw in the omega dyes once in a while. I use the essential zymes as I need them. We have the vitamin C. My husband struggles with gout periodically.
Oh, okay.
So I believe vitamin C is important with that.
Yeah.
And with the sulfurzyme, I've had people comment like that I mean, I have some gray, but I'm not going gray. Maybe that's why I've never heard that.
There you go.
Like, yeah. Well, and my nails, like, I don't know who else is curious, but like my nails used to peel. Like I used to be able to peel the layers. They don't do that now, and I'm cutting them all the time because they grow. They're so strong and they grow.
Sulfurzyme is so good for hair and nails.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And multigreens is the other one that I was trying to think of.
Right.
And so that's just like a super great, like, you know, we all could use a little extra greens in our life. And I know
if you hate greens, take multigreens.
I do eat vegetables, but I have to say it's not my favorite. I really wish cinnamon buns had more nutritional value, to be honest. But anyway, they don't. So I take multigreens. Anyway, you guys, make sure you're giving these a try. They're super important pillars to our overall health and wellness. And you want to be ordering them on Essential Rewards, because that is where you're going to get the most value for your dollar. And it's so good. So there's nothing like opening your wellness box once a month and being like, yay, I got this, and getting free things and free Ningxia and all of that. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn off this recording, but if you want this to share with someone else, feel free to get the link from me and Shalina. Thank you. It's always so fun to share this.
Always fun.
And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night.